Okay, hello. This is my first attempt at A Twitch and B doing a live video for a Vassal game. So if any of you out there are interested in board war games, this is what I'm trying to do here. I love the Normandy 44 game, so I thought I would start with that. I'm not going to put my face on screen because I don't think you need to see it. So let's start. I'm going to start with the campaign game. So this is a GMT game for those of you that don't know it. Let's just see if I can zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole map. So you can see this is Normandy 44. We've got the Normandy Peninsula, clearly. We've got the Utah Beach here, Omaha here, and then Gold, Juno, and Sword over here. So obviously American landings here and here, and then the British and Canadian landings here, the town of Caen, Bayeux, Saint-Lô, and Coutances. Now if we zoom in a little bit, you can see by the end of the game there is a line here. If you see this dotted line here, this is where the Allies have got to by the end of the game. The game is 22 turns long, variable weather, starting on June the 6th, obviously. So, without further ado, let's go. So if I zoom in on the map, we've got the special first turn 1. And I'm just going to get to the rules. You might hear me turning pages a lot. So the invasion turn. So we roll for scatter of all airborne units. So let's start over here. And I'm just going to do probably the invasion turn for now and see how it looks. See whether it works. So we've got the 101st and the 82nd Airborne over here around Saint-Mary-Église. If any of you have seen The Longest Day, Saint-Mary-Église plays a key part in that film with the guy, poor guy, hanging from the bell tower and then he can't hear anything for the rest of the movie. So let's roll. So we'll start with this guy here. So basically the table tells us that the 82nd Airborne, sorry, having a bit of a collapse somewhere, the 82nd Airborne needs to roll. So we roll one die. We've rolled a 4. So a 4 means S1. So S1 scattered and loses 1 step. So this guy is going to lose a step and he is going to become scattered. So move that over to there. So this one here, the next one next to him, we're going to roll a dice. We get a 5. That's an S. So he is just scattered. So I think the 82nd have the hardest time as far as landing where they're meant to land is concerned. And then the one at the bottom there rolls a 2, and a 2 is S2. So that means scattered and loses 2 steps and record 1 airborne replacement. So he's going to lose a step and then he's going to lose another step. And I think that records it, yes, records it immediately for me there. Or does it? Maybe it doesn't. That's a cadre unit. So airborne replacement. So let's find American airborne replacement. And that goes on to there. Okay. So not brilliant. Scattered as well. But that's kind of the time that the 82nd have. So let's do the 101st next. So the 101st. We're going to roll for them. They have slightly better odds on their table, so let's roll. Higher rolls are better, and we get a 5. So the 101st, so no effect. So they're fine. The ones underneath roll a 2. So that's an S1. Scattered and loses 1 step. Record 1 airborne replacement. I should have recorded 1 for the other one as well, shouldn't I? So lose a step and scattered. And then go back up to my airborne replacements because I lost one earlier, didn't I? And I didn't record it. And then finally down here, the one at the bottom rolls a 4. That's just scattered. So record as scattered. Okay, so that's the airborne over there. So now go over to the 6th airborne. And they hopefully will do rather better if I can roll high, 4, 5 and 6s. I'm not known for rolling particularly high, but let's give it a go and see what we can get. So we'll start with this one at the top here. He rolls a 3, so he is scattered. So scattered marker. This one underneath rolls a 3. He is also scattered. And then the battalion underneath rolls a 4, and he is fine. So that's the airborne section done of the invasion turn. So what are we doing next? We are conducting all invasion combat, so that's 20.3. So at each beach landing hex, the allied player uses the assault units from the allied at start card for the initial assault. No odds are computed. Instead, use a special invasion CRT published on the back of this rulebook. So let's have a look. So let's start over in Utah. So basically what you're going to be doing is bringing these guys onto the beach against these zones here. So this is the Utah landing beach here, and we're going to start with the ones at the front. So the ones with the little line underneath are going to be, if you can see here, they've got a line under the name Utah. That means that they are the landing regiments with the tank behind. So you roll for each one, I believe. Do I roll for each unit or each stack? Let's check that. Okay, so do I use it for the stack or for the units? I'm not absolutely sure. It's not very clear. I'm going to do it for the stack, I think. So, right, so the infantry rolls on Utah Beach. So I roll for the infantry there, and I get a 4. So 4 on Utah, A1, D1. So the attacker loses 1, the defender loses 1, and I can advance 1. So advance 1 means that advance after combat. The attacking allied units may advance 1 or 2 hexes depending on the CRT. The first hex of advance must be into the beach hex. Okay, so basically I'm on the beach. So this guy is dead. And my 2 infantry units have made it onto the beach, but I've got to take 1 loss. So I'll turn this guy over, and then I've got to roll for the tank, and the tank are on a different table, a DD tank table. So I could do with rolling 4 to 6. So let's see what I can roll, and I get a 6. So he's fine. He's on the beach. Okay, so that's quite simple, isn't it, for the invasion, for the landings. I'll come back to the Rangers in a minute at Pointe de Hoc. So let's start with this stack here. So we're on Omaha now, bloody Omaha. So this is quite a hard beach to land on. The odds are against them. So rolling a 4. A 4 gives me an A1, D1. So exactly the same as before. So that means he is dead. And I will have to lose one of my units here as well. But they can come onto the beach. So lose a step. And then the tank. So the tank will roll, and he rolls a 6, so it's no effect. So my tank's on, which is great. And then I'm going to roll for these guys here. This is the first American Division, the big red one, I think it was called. So let's roll for them. And we get a 5. So a 5 on Omaha, A1, D1 as well. So these aren't too bad, actually, these results. So he's gone. So onto the beach we come. We need to take a loss. So lose a step. And then for the tank, I roll a 1, which is he loses a step. Lose a step, but still onto the beach. So not too bad. Okay. Right. So now over here. So the 50th Division on Gold Beach. So they are going to roll a 6, which I'm hoping is good. All others are 6, a D1, advance 2. Right, so he's dead. And that means that these guys can go onto the beach. not take any losses, and actually advance a little further in. So one of the key areas we need to control is Arromanches, because this is where the British mulberry is going to come into. So it's important to get rid of this. I played this against a friend, left it undefended. He came in and attacked my mulberry. So I didn't have a mulberry for the rest of the game. I didn't do well in that game, if I'm perfectly honest. Okay, so I think I wanted to prevent him from getting into Arromanches, so I think he will advance to there. And I think this guy will go to there as well. Okay, and then my tank needs to roll. And he rolls a 5, which is no effect, so my tank can come on as well. Okay, so the 50th Division is going to carry on here. So I roll again. I get a 5. That's an A1D1, advance 2. So he is dead. I have to take 1 loss. But I can again advance 2, so let's just put them on the beach to start with. Now I need to get off the beach really to make room for those behind, so I will move them both to there, and then hopefully they can attack this guy. Although, yeah, if I leave the tanks on there, he can't then just stroll straight in. So I'll roll for the tanks and get a 5, which is no effect. So my tanks come on, and they're going to make sure that that beachhead is going to be protected for the time being. Okay, so the Canadians, let's roll for the Canadians. They roll a 2, that's not so good. That's an X, so it's an exchange. So I think that just means that everybody takes a loss. Exchange, each side loses 1 step. No retreat, but if he loses a step, he's dead. So we'll kill him. Canadians have to take a loss, but we can get on the beach. But they can only get on the beach and go no further. And then the tanks roll a 3, so he loses a step. And he can also get onto the beach. So this group here, they're going to roll. They roll a 3. So that's an A1D1 advance 1. So again, he's dead. I have to take a loss and onto the beach. And then the tanks get a 4, so that's no effect. So my tanks are on the beach as well, unaffected. And then finally, sword, so queen. We're going to start with the first, I don't know what they are, Sutherlanders, South something or other. Anyway, whoever they are, let's roll for them. So I roll a 4, it's A1D1, so he's dead. He gets onto the beach, and then this guy, who's under there, so he rolls, he gets a 4 as well. That's an A1D1, there's no one there now. So he goes onto the beach, but he has to lose. Has to lose a step. And then our tank, 2. So our tank loses a step, but is on the beach. Okay. So the last thing we need to do is the Pointe de Hoc. I'm just going to have to read the rules for that because I can't remember what we need to do. Right, Pointe de Hoc. If a 1 is rolled on the invasion combat, the landing fails. The second battalion is eliminated, and the 5th battalion must land at Omaha. So presumably I'm just rolling on the A another. So all others. So let's roll for that. Oh dear, we roll a 1. That's not so good. Okay. So if a 1 is rolled, the landing fails, the 2nd battalion is eliminated. So they are deleted. And the 5th Ranger must land at Omaha as part of its follow-up wave. So that has to move in there. So the attack on Pointe de Hoc has failed. That's not a great start. Okay, so that is the landing phase. I think I've done everything there as far as the Brits are concerned and the Americans. So then we would move on to the German player turn 1, and we'll come to that shortly.